Thank you, Concola. And first I'd like to thank Deputy Pringle for bringing this bill to the House. And I would also like to thank the Minister for saying that the government is going to support the bill. From growing up in a rural society myself, in a place called Benogue in County Limerick, was where I was born. And I had the privilege of having, my father was 98 years of age when he died, so he was born in 1911, and he grew up from the ages of the early 1900s. And I remember when the travelling community of that time was called to the house twice a year, a man and his wife, and the traditions that they had was the man would not enter the house, but the woman would. And my father, listened to what he was saying at the time, was they were tinsmiths at the time, and the finest tinsmiths, he said, and the workmanship that they could do was second to none that he couldn't see. And my father was a very handy man himself. And when I saw the different cultures of it, and going forward into the early 90s, when I was in school myself, there was one traveller, man in my class, who only went as far as second year. And further on, then I'll bring you on to when I was on the board of management in Closter Trocra in Rathkeale as a councillor. And you'd imagine when you hear that Rathkeale in County Limerick, which would have a high population of travelling communities, that the secondary school would have a lot of children going there. But believe it or not, in certain classes you'll be lucky to have one, and I think it was probably one of the lowest population of traveller community going to secondary school in County Limerick was actually in Closter Trocra and Rathkeale. And many of these families, and one thing I'll bring down Closter Trocra again, was the difference that they had in that school for the travelling community was part of the culture of some of the travelling community that were in Rathkeale said that they did not want their children, the girls especially, cooperating with the boys in the mainstream school. So they set up a second part of the school for them to allow them to come to school, because it was the only way they'd come to school. And these girls would probably get as far as third year and then left. But most of those children never passed third year. And I'm not talking that long ago. I'm only talking a couple of years ago. Never passed. Myself personally, I know many people within the travelling community that have businesses and have good businesses and running good businesses. But we come across a small stigma, and it's in every society and it's in every culture. We have a minority of people that cause trouble. And that minority then, you get painted with the one brush. And that's what seems to be happening here in an awful lot of cultures. My own experience, that the majority of the people I know within the travelling community are good people. But like all societies, we have a minority. And minorities should not rule anything. Every person, child, should be, no matter what culture you are, what race you are, should be entitled to an education the same as everyone else. And that's why I will be supporting the bill. Because everyone, no matter who you are, is entitled to the same chances that every other child, no matter what nationality, as I said, that you are. So we're going forward from the times that I said, from the time that from culturally, from the tinsmith going to now, we're all evolving and we're all moving forward, and technology and everything else. And it's now time that the education sector move forward as well. And we make sure that every male and female child in this country and world make sure that they have the same education rights as anyone else, and there should be no boundaries. And that's why, as I said, I will welcome this bill and I will be supporting this bill. And again, Deputy Pringle, I'm delighted you brought it, and thank you. Thank you.